Okay, welcome back. And our guest is Mr. Osifowora, a legal practitioner. And, well, as you know, the court has affirmed, well, I can't say reaffirmed, has affirmed the re-election of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu and his running mate, the sitting deputy governor. Okay, we're taking commentary on the matter. PDP's Olajide Adediran and LP's Gbadebo Rhodes Viver, had petitioned against the governor. Before, I had to interrupt you when I had said that, look, isn't it a very important aspect of the schedule of a lawyer to advise his client on the merits of his case based on his experience? Most clients, not all, but most clients are more experienced than their lawyers in these matters.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, it's divided into many parts. First, a lawyer has the duty to tell the clients the merit of his case, the demerits, and the chances in court. That's one. And I assure you most lawyers do that. Mm-hmm. Now, but there are litigants who fancy their chance at the court based on varied perspectives. Some spiritual, some psycho-spiritual, some believe that I've read, the clients will come to you that I've read the law, it says this, these are my chances. And at that point,
if one lawyer refuses in any case,
another lawyer will take it up. And then there are lawyers who do strictly, I mean, no disrespect to them, but who do strictly based on pecuniary gains. Mm-hmm. And they feel if you can pay, we will go. And after all, what they're told, I mean, what we're made to understand is, I'm going there to represent you. I'm not going there to win for you. Okay. It's the court that will determine who wins or who loses. Mine is to represent.
And you know, we common people, ordinary people, people who are not learned, think of some matters and say, this is a waste of the time of the court. But who are they to make such decisions? Let the court itself say.
That's why the courts always slam people with litigants with heavy costs. And even recently, we've seen cases where court actually slammed the counsels with heavy costs and fines for wasting the time of the court. Okay. Initially, it used to be just the litigants that, okay, this is the cost of bringing everybody here and not wasting people's time, wasting the resources of the nation and everything. And then this is the cost of you not sitting down and judging your case by yourself enough to know your chances here. Now, but these days, we've seen instances where even senior advocates of long-standing reputation have been fined by the court up to 10 million and above.
When the court so fines, is it the litigant who pays or the representative?
Now, there are two instances. Ideally, it's the litigant that pays based on what the court has said, that this case has no merit, then maybe petitioner will pay this sum. It's the litigant that pays. But there are instances where the court specifically refers to the counsel. Okay. I think there was one that was filed by the current aviation minister, Festus Keyamo, SAN, and the court said, I think it had to do with something on Atiku a few months back, and the court slammed him personally, about 10 million. So, and that we've seen instances like that. There are other.
So it can happen.
So it can happen. So when the court feels that, I mean, by your standing in this temple of justice, you should not be the one, you shouldn't be seen doing this.
Far be it from me to pretend to know the law, but it's almost like a case of caveat emptor against all these
absolutely
learned lawyers that come forward. Mr. Baboye, thank you for holding on in Plateau. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Uncle Yori.
Good morning, sir.
How are you?
Very well, thank you. Please go ahead now.
You have consumed my credit almost three minutes. You have consumed my credit.
Apologies.
You have to pay for that.
Apologies, Mr. Baboye.
No problem. I'm joking.
Yes. Thank God for that. I've just said that lawyers can be fined directly.
Permit me to say congratulations to our young. Permit me to say congratulations to our young governor, Sanwo-Olu, very handsome man, very intelligent man. You know,
and his deputy.
That election. It's a clear winning. It's not like that of presidency that people deal with mistakes. You know, the first election there that was presidency was a mistake that people could not understand that they should vote for their person that knows the road, that knows the job. You understand me? So when it comes to governorship election in Lagos, you know, story change. Story has to change because they have realized their mistake in the first place. You understand me? So the governorship election cannot be compared with that presidency election. You know, that presidential election was people were somehow blind to vote for the wrong person there. You understand me? So people got clearance, a clearance of the game to vote for Sanwo-Olu, knowing too well that he has been doing a good job for the people.
Okay.
Just like what one person said that Lagos is not for it's not no man's land. I think it's a clear indication now that Lagos is no man's land. You understand me? That the job the Sanwo-Olu has been doing, he should keep it up.
All right.
You know, I'm a personal support to him, even to Tinubu. You understand me? I speak in other stations as a Bob. If you hear Bob, so that is it. What God has sealed it. What is done on earth is done in heaven. You know.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for calling in. On the case itself, I think the tribunal determined that the candidate of Labour Party itself didn't have any business being joined in that. Was there not the matter about, look, the matters that we expect to come before us are between the winner and the loser. But when, it's not against the winner and two people who lost. But explain that area to me.
It's an unfortunate development, and it's a terrible gaffe, I mean, on the part of the PDP, because basically the court has explained it, that you're challenging the winner, and then you're joining another person who's lost this election. So in what capacity is that one coming in? So, and that speaks to competence also, because now you want to take up the headship of Lagos. You want to rule Lagos. And then you can't get basic things right. Lagos is not a place where you experiment. Lagos is not a place where you toy with. If you can't get your personal businesses right, then they want to trust the life of over 10 million people into your hands. No, this is not time for experiment. Let the people who are there continue. They're doing fantastically well. We're seeing the developments. Everything is coming to fruition. And you're seeing young men who are working hard every day round the clock.
But the court didn't say that. It didn't say all that you've just said now. The court wouldn't have said all of that.
This is the court of people's opinion. No, but left to the court, that was a big blunder. We saw what happened also at the presidential electoral tribunal and how the court berated lawyers that, come on, you're claiming you have won in certain places. There is no evidence. You can't show. So what are you saying exactly? That, okay, if you want to say I'm older than you and we both look alike, then the best thing that speaks is you bring your birth certificate.
Exactly.
Bring the documentary
evidence.
With that. So you have not brought anything, then is it the court that will go and start looking for evidence for you? So sometimes some of these things, that's why people are beginning to look at lawyers like...
As one justice in the presidential petition said, the only lady there, that did they expect us to go to the market to look for evidence for them? Good morning, Ada. Let me not delay you any longer. Good morning. Thank you for calling in.
That one I was calling from just as you said. Good morning to your guest there.
Good morning.
Olu, the name is too long. Sorry. In fact, that of Lagos State, I was just wondering which magic will happen, which miracle will happen, you know? Even the biblical injunction of the last shall come first, and the first shall come last. Will not work. I read my Bible upside down. I read it, you know, inside out, and saw how Jesus arrived at that, the last shall come first, and it's not applicable here. So what am I trying to say? our politicians should learn to imbibe that spirit of sportsmanship, the Jonathan spirit. That's what I call it. Good luck, Jonathan spirit, you know. But again, having said that, I feel that even as much as your guests have said that the courts are part of the electoral process, it's becoming one too many. You know, it's becoming embarrassing. Look at what they said. They read out today. They said they still have about over 3,000 cases pending. That people, you know, it's ridiculous. What is happening? You have to start in our electoral process so we can get it right to some reasonable extent. So having said that, I feel that the courts, all these verdicts or whatever, should now make the National Assembly and even the court, let them now find a way of funding our electoral process, you know. For instance, let all electoral petitions be disposed of before anybody is sworn in. So it looks tidier. Then again, the appointment of the chief, the chairman of INEC, let it be shifted to the Judicial Council and then rectified by the National Assembly. You know, that's how it's done in Ghana, in South Africa, and the rest of them. So we can have more credible elections going forward, you know. And then if there's room, if it's possible, let there be even independent candidature, you know. So all those things will help. It's not the electoral process. I mean, it's becoming embarrassing for me, if you ask me. I don't know how you feel, but it's embarrassing. Let the ballot decide who will be our leader to some reasonable extent. I'm not saying that the court will not hear it, but it shouldn't be, you know, free for all. Now, everybody, the lawyers themselves, they're not even helping matters. Anyway, they want to, you know, there's a lot of economic crunch, so they have to, you know, make money. But sometimes some lawyers are good. They know that they should advise their clients well. Although one lawyer came out one day and was saying, when I confronted him in one of the programs, he said that they told them, but they will not listen. Who is he now to spit out what they want to put in his mouth?
Thank you very much, Ada, for calling in. I don't know, this sentiment has been, you know, mentioned often. I think it was Babajide Otitoju who was saying on his program that it's getting to be a scandal that what politicians cannot get at the ballot, they now head to the court for. And it's to be decried that this is just not how it works. And as Ada was saying, let the preponderance of the process be, you know, at the polls. No, this matter where there are many people who would appear to have the attitude that it doesn't matter what the outcome is, we'll go to court. It's not over till it's over. So whatever the outcome, we'll go to court.
Well, if the Constitution has given you a guaranteed right, then there's no harm in exercising your right. Now, but what people have failed to do is to commend the judiciary, because most of these justices and judges, they've left their primary assignment and gone to the tribunal. And at the end of the day, you find that it's not like they just turn around things, and there are just a few exceptions that we've seen, and there are justifications for upturning those elections. Now, but if you look at the majority, this Lagos is an example. Somebody with 70,000 has come to challenge somebody with 750,000.
I mean,
and
that was bold.
Audacious.
Audacious, in fact. Audacious is better than bold in this instance. Audacious is better than bold.
So, but you saw what the court did, and the court actually berated him and his counsels that, come on, we're not playing here. This is, try your luck elsewhere.
Yeah.
For me, I feel like everybody said, go back and recalibrate. Sit down. 4 years is just around the corner. If you want to know how far 4 years is, I always tell people, go borrow money. Before you know it, it will be 4 years.
Blink of an eye.
You know? So 4 years is just down the line.
Yeah.
So
people, well, that's why we just wanted to hear what the people out there are thinking about it. A number of them won't be lawyers. The lawyers themselves are not going to call in. I wouldn't be surprised if the lawyers decline to call in. Say, what? What you doing? What am I going to comment upon? Mazi Okoroafo, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Sayori. Good morning, our guest. Sayori, you see, we meet in the court. That's what one of our listeners was telling somebody, said, we meet in the court. I started laughing. I said, we meet in the court. It's always the language. But the question is, we should have that spirit of sportsmanship. You know, when you come to organize a football match, whether it's local one or international one or any community one or even state one, there must be a winner, there must be a loser. But the question we have today is this, the politics we have in Africa, not only Nigeria or Lagos, we don't have that spirit of sportsmanship. Everybody feels that he must be at the top. Like, if you look at what one of these preachers, Dr. Enenche, he said, Live each day as if it is the last. Live each day as if it is the last. When you come to a place, know that there must be a loser. But we don't want to. And if we carry the notion of politics, they are going to politics as money or power. That is where the confusion comes. And that is why this need, like I used to tell you, that if I have my way, let's keep politics as a vocation, not as an occupation. By the time you keep politics as a vocation, we know that if you are going to politics, you are going in as a vocation. Yes, but the institution that I went with, there's no way. It's just like a teacher writing an exam. When you write an exam, you must fail. You must pass. It's option. Either you pass or you fail, depending on your preparation, on your own capacity, and the type of the course you are doing. But everybody, no child that goes to exam one that is to fail. But some people, before they enter, let me go and write this SSC. Right? And I'll get the CCs. You are going to that exam with that notion of CCs. Not that you are going to make an A, because you see, you have already demolished the marks within yourself that are by like at least if you get CC, you are satisfied. That is the mentality we see in Nigerian politics.
Yeah.
If we run that mentality up, I bet you, Nigeria. Look, this country is very good, though. Because if you watch what is happening, you saw what happened in Venezuela last 2 days. What happened? How prisoners, how did they manage to bring ammunition inside prison? You see how the security men landed up that prison. You start asking, how do they manage to rocket ranger inside? So this is technology. Politics is to be an occupation, not as a what?
Okay.
As a trade. Good morning.
Thank you very much for calling in. I've heard the term used about at least twice now, this matter about sportsmanship. Never mind sportsmanship. How about statesmanship? I mean, if you want to come in, you want to be a governor, and that's not a sport. You want to be a statesman. And, you know, if you can't accept that you were rejected at the polls, roundly rejected, and you now say, well, nevertheless, we're going to court. Roundly rejected, scoring 10% of the votes.
Less than
10%. So
there was something Mr. Governor said.
Yes.
He said, if you've got something to offer, come.
Exactly.
Let's work together.
Exactly.
I don't think some of these people have anything to offer.
Mr. Okay, I mean, you can say that, Mr. Osifowora, because, you know.
See, we need to.
I hear what you're saying.
The voters also need to start. We have to change the pattern of voting. Let's look at people. What's your private life like? Some of us grew up watching you on TV. We've seen you. We know you. If you come up for anything, don't be surprised at how many people are going to line behind you. There's some of those people just fell from the sky. Unknown
entities, unknown quantities.
Exactly.
Really,
so,
and then you're challenging, as a couple of people have mentioned, a duo that has served 4 years. And then what are you challenging them with? Qualification.
That's the thing. You're not saying they've done this wrongly. They've done this, they're not up to par here. You're just so you're looking for some backdoor thing. This is not so. Lagos is not where you experiment.
Well, indeed, nowhere. I don't think the judicial.
You experiment with people's lives.
Yes, they're not going to stand for it, and especially when you want to try and experiment with the law. Where even apart from Lagos, anywhere else, what you've just said will probably hold good as well.
Exactly.
Anywhere.
That's why I said if you can't conduct your case well, your own case, personal case, the court is almost lampooning you.
But
then you want to conduct our own lives. That's been going well under this rule. Come on.
But there's a sense for rule of law. There's an attitude about the rule of law. Deep commitment to democracy, and so we allow even those who are behaving in what to some might appear to be ridiculous. But if it conforms,
but not stupid.
I'm not going to use that word. But if it just barely conforms to some semblance of being legal, okay, bring it on. We'll throw it out, but let it not be said that we didn't allow you to bring it on. That seems to be the situation here. But Mr. Adediran, has said that his team will study it. of the PDP. His team will study it, and then after that, I can just imagine people rolling their eyes that, what are you studying out of this? Which part of this is difficult?
The biggest room in the world is the room for improvement. Let them go and improve on what they've done. At least we've seen that what they've done is not, I mean, the courts have said, and we also have seen it. I mean, all you need is just your ability to comprehend English. There are no, you know those days of using,
law.
Yes, the law is simple. The law is there. I mean, that doesn't give you the liberty to go and practice, but you understand what is being said.
Yes.
And then you can comprehend, that, except you don't understand English.
Well,
that's where you say that some of those things are easy to...
It goes back to what you've spoken about earlier, and some people have also mentioned. Look, how serious are you? They've used the term sportsmanship, sportsman-like. How serious, and I think it was you who were saying, how serious do you want to be taken if you score 10%, less than 10% of the votes that were garnered by the winner, and you're still heading to court with what? What are you taking there? And what are the charges? What are the things that you want the court to determine?
What's new?
What exactly is new? And in any case, I think the Lordship said in there somewhere that even there are aspects of this that are pre-election matters that we don't even have any business looking at here.
Exactly.
You know? So it just...
There's the issue of citizenship, dual citizenship that was raised as well.
Can you imagine?
And I'm like, somebody who was born in Nigeria because he's acquired. And I think that has been laid to rest by the Court of Appeal. That's where I have a problem with some of the councils who actually go for this petition, because all you need to do is study precedents. And you know that these things have been decided.
But you explained it, that sometimes councils do so advised, and their clients will say, nevertheless, God spoke to me.
I have had to reject briefs. I mean, it's not everything you take on, because if you keep doing that, people will look at you like you're one of the lawyer must chop kind of people. Because if you take every brief, what do you want to prove? Because one of my guiding principles in life is what my dad told me, that growing up, that anything that's got to do with my name, you have to be careful.
Okay.
So if I'm going to put my father's name on something...
Yes. You think that the councils that represented them, you think they were somehow jeopardizing their own reputation?
I would stay on national TV and be berated like that. I mean, the court just said, why are you adding someone who lost the election?
Yeah.
You're suing the person. In what capacity? You want to take his vote? You want to add his vote to your own? Those are things, those are elementary gaffes that should not be seen with a lawyer. If that forms part of a question in constitutional law for a 200-level student, they won't make that mistake.
Well, I suppose the only way to look at it, at least as far as I'm concerned, is, the system, the judicial system is bending over backwards to show that... To accommodate. Look, no matter how, you use that word that I'm very reluctant to use, no matter how that way it sounds, bring it on, let's look at it, and then we promptly pronounce on it. And once the gavel drops, that's it. Are you satisfied now? Now it has been written. It is in the judgment that there was absolutely no merit to this case. And, it's just one of those things. But I suppose there's a sense in which you probably would have it this way. Let people come out and make a spectacle, is the word, of themselves. You know.
But the downside of it is that you're impeding governance. This duo are there trying to go about their life and trying to go about their duties. But see, whichever way you want to look at it, there's no small litigation. Your mind will be there, your resources will be channeled.
It can be very distracting.
Very distracting.
Yeah.
So please, I think it's time Lagosians came out and said, please, appeal to these people. Whatever you have spent, we will refund you, or God will replenish you. Right. Let these people carry on with their job. We're satisfied with what they're doing, and then come back in 4 years' time. You can come back. We've seen people, I mean, we all grew up with the Abraham Lincoln story, and we have someone in the mode of Abraham Lincoln at the presidential level too, but we've not seen the outcome of, his own...
We're still working at it.
Maybe still early.
Again, playing into this whole thing about it's a democracy, rule of law allows, and we will, if you want to go there, we will exhaust that process. Well, I think let's just leave this here, Mr. Osifowora, legal practitioner. In fact, you've said a number of things that I wouldn't have said, but it's just as well. You are in the club. You are in the what is it now? An officer of the bar, you know. So you can say those things. Well, thank you very much for coming.
It's a pleasure.
And you know, that's where we're going to leave the quest of PDP candidate Olajide Adediran and Gbadebo Chinedu Rhodes Viva. They've been thrown out. That's our program today. Please join us tomorrow for a fresh edition. I'm Yori Folari. Bye-bye for now.